Because honestly, like, when's the last time you went up on your roof? And putting up the Christmas lights doesn't count because you're not really inspecting it.
Nobody's going on there.
Nobody's really going up there if they don't have to.
Yep.
You know.
What's the next latest and greatest thing for roofs? I know I've seen like the metal roofs. There's a big thing, right?
There's a robot now.
What? What's up, y'all? It's the It's Your Neighbor podcast. It's me, Monte. I'm here with Anthony.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
And Oscar and Raul from Prime Roofing, one of our main sponsors.
Let's go.
What's up, guys?
Good. Thank you. Thanks for having us today.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks for doing everything you guys do. Prime Roofing, we kind of highlighted them a few weeks ago on our podcast as part of our sponsorship, but they're here in the flesh today.
Yeah, thank you guys
these
for
guys,
being here.
No joke. We'll make some jokes here later, I'm sure, but no joke. These guys are awesome at what they do, in my opinion. From the amount of flips that I've done and the amount of projects I've done, they're the best in the business as far as not only quality, backing their stuff up. Oscar's done some stuff for me that, you know, like we had a problem with a really weird roof at one point, and Oscar was back there like 3 or 4 times, no fault of his own. It's just the way the weather was and the way that the roof was pitched and sloped. That was way before them, and he backed it up every single time. He went above and beyond. So appreciate you guys. Love having you guys as a sponsor. Obviously, that's awesome. So,
yeah, super cool. You guys are on the truck and everything. Throwing love out to you guys. So thank you for being here today.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys.
Yeah. So today we're gonna get to know you guys a little bit more. Obviously, I just see you usually when I'm giving you money. So I'm giving you money, or you're doing estimates for me. So it's always money in between. So I'm excited to get to know you guys a little bit. Raul, this is the first time I get to meet you in person.
Yeah. Yes,
so
sir.
we've been chatting back and forth. So really, like, who are you guys? You know?
Well, we're Prime Roofing. One of the owners. We specialize on like installing shingles, and then installing gutters as well.
Yep. Yeah,
That's
you
cool.
guys just started doing gutters too, right?
Yeah.
Like not too long ago, like a year ago.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Cool. How did you guys get into contracting? Like, what was it like? When was this decided? Like, we all probably grew up at some point. I know I worked in construction. I'm sure you probably
I've done
did.
some roofs before.
Yeah.
You know,
We've all
Carried
done
some
something.
shingle.
Yeah. So what was it like?
Hammer.
Where was your break off point to be like, yo, I think we can run our own operation?
Well, I started like helping like some of my family members too with construction, and then my family is the one that pushed me to like open my own roofing business.
Yeah.
I was scared at the beginning, but then like it's like any other job. Like you're just scared at first, but then once you take off, you just take off.
Yeah. How long ago was that again?
We've been in business for 5 years, but we have like about 20 years of experience.
No kidding. No kidding. That's impressive. That's impressive.
What about you, Raul?
For me, it was honestly like just growing up. I was always around construction. You know, my dad was he did everything himself. He was like he just was just trying to save money and do everything himself. So we were just back there with him. I remember he had a friend, and I was like 16. I remember, and I used to actually carry up all the bundles at 16.
Oh, yeah.
I told my mom that at the dinner table yesterday, and she was like looking at my dad like, "You had him up there doing what now?" But then he goes, "No, I don't really remember that." But we stopped going for that guy because he didn't pay us, and I was like, "Okay." So no, I really wasn't up there like that. But it started ever since I was a little kid, and then after that, I actually got back into construction. I was actually installing metal roofing, and that's how I started back in 2013. So over a decade now.
Yeah.
And I've experienced this in the contracting, roofing, all of that good stuff. And I really, really love it. I mean, we work like crazy. We work, Saturdays, Sundays too. And it's just, when you love something like that, it just kind of doesn't even feel like
You hear
work.
that?
Totally get that. Yeah. Totally get that. So you guys like the heights, the roofs. You're all up there, huh?
That's what got me, man. I went up there and I was like, you know what? I love the rush, and this is kind of scary, but I gotta.
I might fall down. I'm not really sure. No.
But yeah, it is scary, and it's now that I look at it, I think back, and it's like now that I'm getting older, I think about it like it's a lot more responsibility. As opposed to like when I was just going up there with shingles, showing off, hey, I can get 2 bundles up, But yeah.
Yeah, but safety is always first for us, and like our quality too.
Yep, I've noticed that on your job sites too, just from, again, comparing to other crews that have been out there is, you guys are a little bit more by the book. Obviously you got insurance now and you got all that other stuff that you have to deal with. So I'm sure your insurance guy is kind of like, peek in a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
And they do.
do they?
Yeah, they definitely do. So we gotta have all that, intact as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is it like? How big are your crews right now? You got 2 crews, right?
Yep. One in Milwaukee and one over here in Green Bay.
No kidding.
Mhm.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yep.
Good.
So you
what's
serve a good
oh,
portion of the
go
state
ahead.
then, right?
Yep.
What was that?
You serve a good portion of the state.
Northeast,
then.
Yeah.
northeast, southeast Wisconsin right now, and we're just doing roofing right now because we're really trying to master roofing. A lot of companies are doing everything all at once, and for us, it's me and Oscar are really trying to seminars, attend, get certified, know the products, know the new products, attend home improvement shows and stuff like that. So
Yeah. What's the next latest and greatest thing for roofs? I know I've seen like the metal roofs is a big thing, right?
there's a robot now.
What?
I just seen a robot. We just seen a robot. We just shared a
What?
robot on
What
TikTok,
does a robot do?
and he installs the shingles now. So,
Come on.
What?
So that's gonna. They got an automated McDonald's now too. So
Well, I know that.
that's so now that's like something new that we just seen. But there's always new stuff going on, like new
How,
products.
materials,
how
all
fast
the-
does that go though? So it's like
No, right now it's going like it goes slow, but I mean eventually they're probably gonna replace us too.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's what, and that's
you're
unless
their
you
running
goal.
have the
machines.
robot.
yeah.
That's their goal. But a lot of people in the comments were like, it's not gonna be the same as somebody
Yeah.
going over there and
Actually have eyes
because
on
then you got to carry this big machine up there too. But
Oh.
I mean, it's technology sooner or later.
Yeah.
So we're pretty open to technology in our company because I mean,
You're gonna have to be. Right?
yeah, we
Yeah.
have to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you adapt or die, right? Like, every people complain about AI, and they're like, "Oh, they're going to take our jobs." Well, yeah, that's what people said about the internet, and that's what they said about
Yeah.
tractors,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
like people were plowing fields with cows and
Yep.
Yeah.
horses and things like that. I wouldn't say cows; that was stupid, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, you kind of get in where you fit in. You know,
that was
I mean,
gonna be
either
on the
way,
thing.
yeah.
Rob's over there already laughing,
He's
like
like-
he time stamped
like,
that one.
That's a great
one.
take.
cows plowing fields.
But every major change, and so you're going to see a change in the roofing, business in that space. And you said you're tapping into some other things, but I imagine even just the materials you were saying, like metal roofs, big deal. Is there anything else that we should be looking out for, especially here in the Midwest?
Well,
We have all these terrible wind conditions and weather conditions. This last year was awesome, but I'm sure the winter weather has something to do with your work as well, right?
Yeah, so right now, like we're specializing like a lot in shingles, but we really want to get into like TPO and rubber for like flat roofs,
Sure.
because like those type of roofs you can't really install shingles because the water gets into the nails.
Yep.
So we're gonna try to add that to the company too.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So always looking to expand.
Yeah.
What kind of how much manpower do you guys need to do that to like expand, or is that just one of the things where you put your other crew and you guys learn it and then you train them on how to do it?
Yeah, we usually try to learn like how to properly do a job, and then after that we teach our roofers.
Yeah. So you guys are getting ahead of it, maybe a step or two ahead. And like be the trickle down for your team.
Yep.
Which is awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. So metal roof, you guys do metal roofs too?
Yep. Sometimes.
Yeah, I know we talked about that a little bit. I've been seeing these like these Erie roofs.
The steel coated. So I used to install those back in 2013. Like that's how I started.
Yeah.
So those are that's a really nice product too. But some people are just like, just get the metal roof at that point.
Yeah.
Because you're paying for it. Because metal roofs are more expensive.
Yeah.
It's just longer life expectancy.
Yeah.
Too.
So those shingled ones though, those are like way more expensive, right?
Yeah, those are pretty expensive per bundle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are expensive.
Yeah.
They
I
look
remember-
cool.
Yeah, I remember just doing like a residential roof. It was like almost like 70,000, and the commercial gets pretty expensive. 300
For residential?
400,000 for commercial. Yeah.
Have you guys thought about getting into solar at all?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
That's what I was going to
There's
ask
this-
about next, actually. You're
Oh,
starting
yeah.
to see that pop up quite a bit.
Solar,
Yeah.
solar panels.
Yeah, but I think those ones I don't think would be kind of like hard to find. Like if there's a leak or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's like to find something like that or try to fix it. Like I think it would be a lot of work and probably more expensive than shingles.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So speaking about preventative measures, I know we do a Tool Talk series. We talk about, weekly subject matter, and we were talking about just clearing branches from a roof. We don't want them, to damage anything that's going on here on property. Do you offer any type of education to the community just for preventative tips around taking care of your roof, or could you provide some today?
Yeah, just one of the biggest things is just like the branches, because sometimes a lot of people let the trees, like the big trees that grow right next to the house, sometimes they're like kind of disturbing the shingles.
Yep.
And the grain that the shingle has is what gives the life. So if a branch is like kind of scratching and stuff like that, you're potentially gonna have like a leak in that area.
Yeah.
So
It's
we
funny.
all-
It's
yeah.
funny you say that too, because we had when we first moved into this building, the very first day, massive rainstorm. We're waiting outside for closing for the keys and all this other stuff. There's a communication mix up. And then we get in, and the first room we go into is like straight out here and to the right. And we look in the room, and it's like, why is there water on the floor? Why is this? And it like the tree grew into the fascia and lifted the shingles up, and then it was backing into it was going down into the tree and then into the shingles and then into the room. We just had a river of. We're like, how long did this go? So thankfully there wasn't like extensive damage or anything. Right. We were able to dry it out and not have to worry about any of the rot or mold or anything. But it was kind of crazy.
That sucks. So, that's not that welcoming either. It's like
on closing day too.
It's like,
you're like, hey,
welcome to your
new spot.
Yeah, we did it. We did it with no inspection and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's important, man. And honestly, like for old homeowners too. We want to touch base on it. You want to make sure that, because honestly, like, when's the last time you went up on your roof? And putting up the Christmas lights doesn't count because you're not really inspecting it.
Nobody's going on there.
Nobody's really going up there if they don't have to.
Yep.
So it's really important to get a roof inspection at least once a year, twice a year, especially if it's aging. If it's more than 15 years, you should probably start thinking about the roof and start getting inspected before it actually becomes a leak. Because then it gets expensive.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because you guys had posted earlier today about your buy and sell, your buyer seller program. What's that all about?
Yeah, I was reading about that too.
Yeah, so for just any referrals right now that we got going on, we basically work with a lot of clients. I work with a lot of investors, property management, homeowners too. We love homeowners, insurance as well, and if we got a referral program going on right now, and it's basically $200 if you refer somebody to us, and they also get $200 off their estimate.
That's cool.
Nice. Yeah. So and we truly really really care about our clients. We actually go up on the roof and inspect the roof. We've gotten that, a lot of compliments on that.
Yep, I can attest for that because I've seen that. Oscar's usually climbing up there and checking it out whenever he comes in for mine.
Yeah. A lot of what's going on.
I might get rich off of you guys in this $200 referral program.
Yeah, just keep buying more houses. We'll keep
sending them your way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I love it. That's awesome. So let's talk about business because that's really what this podcast is about: is shining the light on, programs, businesses. What kind of advice can you give somebody? Now you mentioned like the first time, like when you go and do it for the first time is hard, right? Like it's scary, it's hard. So maybe touch on some advice that you guys have noticed now. You've been in business for 5 years. What's some advice you can give to somebody looking out to start their own business, or even, some things that you've run into that you've had to overcome?
I mean, at first it's like I said, like it's scary, but you just got to give yourself a push. And then it's just, eventually you just get used to it.
Yeah.
And then like someone told me that too, to say you got to work hard to get it and then twice as hard to maintain it.
Yeah.
And then, but that's what I always been like.
That's great
been
advice.
doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is great. That's great.
Yeah.
That's being consistent every day, right?
Yeah.
And that isn't easy, right?
Yeah. And then sometimes when you manage a business, you can't always do it like on yourself. So that's why I kind of went.
Have a good team.
Yeah. I found Raul, and he's the owner too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just talked about that this morning on the news too. So.
Yeah, it's all about teamwork too, man. Because if I didn't have him, I couldn't do it, and then it's vice versa. For me, it's I came into the company like 2 years ago after the brain tumor. I had a brain tumor. Oscar came over and we were just talking about it for a long time, and we finally actually just pulled through with it. We're like, all right, let's do this then. Yeah, and that's when life got pretty serious for me.
Yeah,
but
absolutely,
yeah, for sure. Wow. After that, so
Do you have obviously you had a new outlook on life after a tumor, right?
Yeah, of course. Of course you do. And, starting up a business for anybody out there thinking about doing it, if you're thinking about doing it for a reason, you got to really go after it. Like, you got to push. Like, when you think that it's getting hard, you got to take that layer out and you got to really peel it back and you got to say, you know what? Yeah. I got another one in me, and that's just keep on pushing. You can't give up. The minute you give up is the minute you lose your dreams,
Yeah, that's facts. I mean, anybody starting a business, there's a lot of talk about how sweet it is to be an entrepreneur, and you get to schedule and you get to make as much money you want and all this stuff, but they don't understand how much daily discipline it is to have this type of, ability to build something and to go in and to create something and put in that hard work and face how many no's have you faced, right? And will continue to face. And, even support from family. Sometimes that doesn't look awesome. Or from friends, people are like, you're starting what? Yeah, right. And in those early days, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get a little bit of pushback.
You had the right support, but you also probably had the dream suckers, as they call them. The ones that are
oh, sure you are. You're going to start a roofing company, right?
Worried about sitting in there lazy boy, waiting waiting for something to happen to show up that 9 to 5 and living somebody else's dream out.
Right.
You guys are making that happen.
Yeah.
Sounds
cool.
How do you remember the first time you put down the name for Prime Roofing? Like, where did that come from? I see that you have, the support. You also have some symbolization in there. Where did that all come from?
So this came when I was looking at like videos on YouTube, and then they were saying that usually for you to grow a business quick, you have to have something that's like people are recognized, like already like use it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So
we know about that.
Yeah. So kind of like me, like, well, what is it that everybody uses like right now, like nowadays? And it's like Amazon Prime.
That's where I got it from. All right.
So
we're trying to partner up with Amazon.
So I'm like,
Let's put it out there.
Yeah. So I'm like, so that word is already familiar to people's heads. So I was like, why don't I just do Prime Roofing?
That's smart.
And then that'll be something catchy.
Yeah. So all I gotta do is hit the toggle screen and look up roof.
That's it.
And Oscar will be over the next day with this.
You already know it's Prime, so it's good work.
Free shipping on that roof.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Smart marketing right there.
That is awesome. Actually, that's a really good business idea, though. Like, I think there's a lot of lessons in what you just said of, noticing, just observing, and that's how we started. This was like based on human behavior, broker behavior, agent behavior, and client behavior. And we looked at all of it. Like, I looked at all the things and kind of came up with this vision and threw it out there. And then I got people around me that helped me mold that vision into what it is. But like, to be able to see that and go, people are buying things because of Amazon and Amazon Prime. That's a big thing. And then you're like, you know what? I'm gonna use that word. That's all it is a word, and use it for roofs. But it's a smart move. It was really pretty smart, genius move there.
That's pretty cool. Speaking about vision, how are you guys feeling about this year? What are you really excited about?
I mean, so far, like every year we've been doubling our numbers. So
really?
I'm pretty sure like we'll probably do really good this year.
Well, no snow helps, right?
Yeah, no snow. And honestly, just like what we're trying to do this year is a lot more education right now. We're trying to really take this serious and master down on the whole roofing industry, get some more guys out there right now. We got some really good guys on the team right now. They're helping us out too. So
a lot of salespeople.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, when you talk about educating, are you talking about educating your team or clients?
Kind of like
both.
Both.
I think both. I think
there might be some collaboration ideas here.
I think
it's really important for clients to really understand, the roofing industry, the roofing system. I always hate my clients call me and they're always asking. They don't ask the questions that I want them to ask. So I actually stop them and I'm like, hey, you should be asking me this. You should be asking me this.
Yeah.
Because that's just being just super transparent. I like being super transparent. I don't have no time to waste. So really with my clients, I'm like, what are you looking for? Because you want to kind of customize to the client's needs, what they need and what they can handle right now.
Yeah. What do you have to say to those clients? And I know this is a big thing, especially coming up on the spring storm season.
Yeah.
And I think you know where I'm going with these guys that chase hailstorms and other stuff like that. And I think, like, I look at them as like predators. Like they prey on people who are just uneducated on their roofs. I had a guy. It was funny. I had a really funny story when I was at my last house. This guy, he was an older gentleman, showed up at my house. Now my friend Quentin was living with me at the time. He was actually an insurance adjuster.
Yeah.
And he actually brought me up on the roof after a storm to show me what I should be looking for. Brought his chalk, circled,
chalk and rub. Yeah.
Yeah. He circled like 2 little hail pops that were in there. And he's like, he had told me like 2 days afterwards, and this is weird, but he told me, he's like, there's going to be people that are going to come through here because they heard there was a hail and they're going to try to get you to replace your roof. And they're just going to tell you certain things. So here's what you look for. Here's what you look for.
Sign a contract in there.
Yeah. So not 2 days later, this dude shows up, knocks on my door. He's like, I could see from the road that your roof was damaged and it needs to be replaced. Really? And I go, oh, really? I'm like, well, first of all, you're like 65. So I'm like, did you get LASIK? And he was like kind of already taken aback. And I used to put roofs on too. Like I did a lot of like the slate tile roofs. That's what I did when I was in high school and early in my college career. But I'm like, and Q is in the house and he's listening to this. And I'm like, I go, what's your angle, man? He's like, oh, you're going to need the whole roof replaced. And I'm like, no, I don't.
No.
And he goes, how would you know? And I go, well, 1, I used to put roofs on. 2, my roommate right now who's living with me is an insurance adjuster. Well, of course he's going to tell you the roof doesn't need to be done. I'm like, he doesn't work for my insurance company. Of all people, he would tell me the truth. Plus, he's one of my best friends. It's like, And this guy, like, I'm like, get the hell off my yard. Like, just go back and get out of here. And then he went to the neighbor's house and I yelled at my neighbor. I'm like, Todd, don't believe him.
Yeah, honestly, and that's a good point too. I mean, you got to ask your neighbors. We won't sell your roof if you don't need a roof. I mean, I got plenty of clients right now that, they'll actually reach back out to me. Raul, can you come out and check the roof? It's been a year.
Mhm.
All right, well, we'll check it out. We'll let you know if you need a roof. And honestly, we believe in just the long-term goal here.
Yeah.
And it's just being honest with,
Well, that's how you're
homeowners
going to get it. If you sell somebody,
community.
bad news travels 7 times faster than good news, right? So all of a sudden you start messing with somebody or screw something up.
Yeah.
You're gonna hit 7 more people than you would if like on the one good referral and
Right.
one good review. So
Yeah.
like that's kind of what I was getting at is like integrity, honesty is really important, for people as again, why we partner with you and why we choose to, have you guys, and obviously you're awesome. But like those are the things that we're trying to look for with our clients and be able to provide our buyers and sellers the right crew, the right people that can back their stuff up and do it honestly.
Yeah.
Without just, there's like 500,000 roofs in Northeast Wisconsin and however many in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
You guys will be busy enough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Speaking of being busy, talk about some of the maybe career opportunities that you have for guys to come on your team. I'm sure you guys are looking to bring on new members as you grow. What does that look like today?
Yeah, so we're looking for just motivated individuals really that just really want to get into the whole, sales and really and really want to actually learn about the roofing industry. Yeah, that's basically where we would be at for somebody, a candidate that would be looking for work. We'd be really trying to have them be interested in the roofing industry.
Yeah.
That's,
care about it.
That's important.
Yeah.
Care.
Not
Yeah,
just
and
doing
have
some
really
work.
good customer service. I mean,
Yeah.
customer service and just common sense really. I know people say there's no such thing as common sense, but
It's not so common.
yeah, it's not so common.
That's what they say.
It's really
It's not so
not.
common.
So like we really try and train our guys really, really well. We spend a lot of time with them. So
Cool. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. What are some of the efforts you have going on in the community here? I know we're real big on supporting the community.
Yeah.
We would love to collab to create educational content even. I mean, we love supporting businesses here
That'd be
locally, especially if it has to do with this market. We want to support individuals, residents here in the Green Bay area, Northeast Wisconsin area. And so a partner like you, there's a great opportunity to educate, people in the surrounding area. What are some other ways that you're looking to get out into the community, if there are some?
I think right now we're trying to work with a lot of new investors. We're trying to work with more homeowners and educate them as well. And also even we're trying to really come up with a system where we can help out right now. First responders are on a list right now. Anybody and who's what else we got?
Military,
Military,
yeah.
Army,
Yep.
first responders. We're trying to help out.
Police
awesome.
and
Yeah.
your fire departments and
For
stuff
sure,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's awesome.
Even new homeowners too. I think we'd be willing to help just because it's been a really competitive market, and I feel for them. So yeah.
And
That's
even though
cool.
it's a seller's market right now, there's still going to be people buying.
Well,
if
it
it's-
is.
if it's a nice, price home.
Yeah, but I mean,
obviously people
those
still
are the
need-
things that when you go into a house.
Yeah.
And a buyer, first of all, if you're a seller, and if you're a seller, like your roof is kind of like probably close to the end, like you can see it from the road, like all the grain's gone,
Yeah.
or it's just single tab shingles. They don't make single tab shingles very
Yeah.
often anymore. So
They're hard to match. Yeah. for
yeah.
sure.
So when you look at that, and I guess my point is like for a seller, the whole idea is like they kind of know like where, and then they got to go to where do I go?
Yeah.
And there's a huge difference in like one. If you're buying from a company that's on TV, they're probably overpriced because you're
Yeah.
paying for their marketing, right? Like I've seen that tons of times. Even when I used to own my own little remodeling business, my bath remodeling business, my competitors were on TV, sold the same as that product, but their stuff was like 3 times higher than mine. Not because their stuff was better, because somebody had to pay for their TV advertising,
Yeah.
So
Overhead.
so like
Right.
that's part of it is one, you guys are affordable in a good way. Like you're not the cheapest guy in town, but you're not the most expensive guy in town. You do what you say you're going to do, and that's capitalism, right? You do what you say you're going to do, and you get paid properly.
Right.
So, but for a seller, like one is finding the right person to like go out there and actually evaluate the roof and go, hey, this would be good. And oftentimes, if they replace the roof, they're going to get most of that money back, and they're going to leave that house knowing that next person's taken care of too.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the buyer side, it's like, hey, I'm buying this house. we know the roof is probably 2 to 3 years away, but we're okay with it because it is a seller's market. Sellers don't need to replace the roofs oftentimes, but if they do, they're probably going to get more money. On the buy side, then you're looking at it like going, okay, it's going to be an extra 10, 15 grand, for us to replace this roof, but then it's done. So then they factor that into their price when they do it. And hopefully the two sides come together. It doesn't always work that way.
Yeah.
But that's the way it goes. But roofs, foundations, and electrical, those are like the most expensive things in a house that they can go. And then like people are scared of like furnaces because they're easy to see. But that's we got a guy.
Yeah.
We got a furnace.
We got a guy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good stuff. But yeah, that's where that goes. So this is the part of the show, I think, where we flip it on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys get to ask us the questions now.
Okay.
We don't prep you for this, so
so
we like to throw it out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it could be about anything. It could be about
You could be us.
It could be about what we're doing here in this podcast.
Could it be more about roofs? I'm just kidding.
It could be about,
roofs. You could challenge me on the 30-year, 50-year shingle warranties. I got you.
All about the roofs.
Well, according to this 30-year warranty. Just kidding.
No, I mean, I'm glad that you've been growing a lot too.
Yeah,
so,
we kind of grew up together a little bit, right? Like I started my business, my real estate career 5.5, 6 years ago. 6 years ago, I think in April. That was 2018. So yeah, 6 years ago in April was the first flip that I bought, or first rental that I bought. And then I lost my ass on a flip. Shortly after that, I lost like 17 grand. And that's right around the time like I started getting to know you a little bit. You were you were a young guy then too, getting started.
Yeah.
And we kind of grew up in this together. It's kind of cool.
Which I appreciate a lot, giving me a lot of business and stuff like that.
Hey,
but
keep doing a good job. Keep giving me business.
And honestly, that's kind of how we met too. I was flipping a property and like we met through mutual friends, and he did the roof for me too. So we met since then, and we just had a pretty good connection, and now we're here. But yeah.
So what's the question? Let's go.
Question for you guys is I have no questions. I'm trying to think of some. I guess.
All right.
Put us on the spot.
That's what we try to do.
What's your motivation? I guess. I mean, What's your motivation? What's your goal? Where do you want to be? How where do you want to take this?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you take this because I answer this question quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, we're really starting to understand, how people are taking homes and our house is turning into homes. And honestly, that's our community. And that's what this place is all about, is building that community, a place for people to belong and to connect to, and not just sell homes. I mean, that's transactional. We all need somewhere to live, right? And so for me, I've been investing in the community for the last 15 years through my nonprofit and for-profit work. And so when I saw that these guys were going to literally take action in the community by supporting their clients, creating community events that really are going to make a difference and be a mainstay here in Northeast Wisconsin to create a healthier community, I thought, well, that's so aligned with what I'm already trying to do in the Appleton area. I would love to come work with a team that is trying to do something different and to shake up the real estate market. I would love to do that. As a marketer, someone that's doing marketing for 20 plus years, I love stories. And so finding the stories of our realtors, of our leadership team, of our local community business, stakeholders like yourselves, and to be able to shine a light on who's making Green Bay, Wisconsin such a sweet place to live, that's what I'm all about.
Yeah. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. But yeah, it's like we want to have, and this too, is like we want people to feel welcome, not just because real estate is real estate, like he said. A house is a house until it becomes a home. So there's a lot that goes on in between that transaction. But at the end of the day, it's like I got this like icky feeling when I would close a house and then I wouldn't talk to somebody for like 6 months or 7 months. I just became their best friend for 30 days, 45 days. Get to closing day, I collect that check.
See you later.
See you guys, thank you. And then there's nothing. And it's like, I just started feeling weird about that, that part of it. And so that's why we got the lifetime home support, which you guys are a part of. And it's like, we want to be able to continually give value because I'm so grateful for them using us and using me as their agent. Like, it makes me feel better. I still get paid the same. I just feel like I always got to give back. Yeah. And that goes back. There's some deeper rooted inadequacy issues and all that other stuff that cause that, but it's turning that into a positive, and just trying to do the best we can for everybody without going bankrupt.
Absolutely.
And it makes you really sleep good at night too, right?
100%.
It makes you sleep good at night because you know you did work. And even if you mess something up,
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna go back there and you're gonna make it right.
Yep.
You know, and that's super big for us too. We like
helping people.
we like
a lot.
helping people
Yep.
out too. That's why I'm big on, you know, all the
Yeah.
clients asking us questions.
Mhm.
Another thing too that we forgot to mention is actually when we started the business,
Mhm.
we've had the same crew.
Yeah.
So
That says a
Mhm.
lot.
Yeah.
that
that's huge.
means that, you know, we're really trying to give back to this community. Our guys aren't,
Mhm.
you know, flying
Yeah.
overstate or going
Yep.
to different states. They're actually here and they've
Mhm.
been working with us, so we know where they live, you know.
Yep.
It's like a family.
It's
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
family here.
Yeah.
So for us,
Yeah.
we feel really, you know, comfortable with them. And
Yeah, so it's like every job that we do, we always try to make it like perfect as much as
Yeah, we
possible.
we treat it like ours.
Yeah, we like
Mhm.
whatever roof we do,
Mhm.
we treat it like it's our house.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, like we're trying to build a business. We're not trying to like I said, like come
Yeah, you're
here,
not-
collect a check, and
Yeah.
then disappear and
Yeah.
whatever.
And we get that
Yeah.
a lot too.
Yeah.
Like we've gotten that where they call us and they're like,
Yeah.
"Hey, we can't find the roofers anymore. They were
Yeah.
out in Texas, and now it's like
It's a lot of like a lot
Terrible.
of companies they hire like people from Texas.
Yeah.
They come here install a roof, but sometimes like the roofs in Texas are
Different.
differently
Yeah.
installed than the ones in here.
Yeah, I mean,
'Cause-
I would imagine there's not
Yeah.
a lot of ice
yeah,
barrier.
yeah,
down
Yeah,
in
yeah,
right.
Texas.
yeah. Because
They
over
can
here,
go
Right,
ice
you
like,
got
water.
basements.
yeah, over here it snows a lot, so it's a little bit more different.
Right.
And then the people over there, they install it, and then the clients are calling us, is like, hey, I just got my roof replaced, and then it's leaking now.
Mhm.
And it's
Well,
like,
remember that one that you went to?
yeah,
They
yeah.
didn't do any ice
Mm-mm.
in the whole valleys
Yeah.
at all. And it
no
was-
ice and water."
Come on.
And that's kind of messed up because like the clients are spending like thousands of
Yeah.
dollars, and then like, well, I can't just give a free roof, so I have to like tell them like, well, we have to redo this, but I'm sorry,
Yeah.
like
Cost you
it's gonna
Yeah,
cost
you saved my buyer
Mhm.
from a really bad situation.
Yep.
It was like, you know, the roof was covered when we originally did it. The roof was done 6 months prior, not even
Yeah,
3
mhm.
months prior. And we went there and they're like, this roof looks janky.
Yeah,
They did it in the middle of winter when it was freezing cold.
Yeah.
And the
Come on.
shingles were all popping already in like 3 months. And then he goes up on the roof and finds out they didn't put anything down in the
Yeah.
valleys to protect it. It was like right on the sheets.
Yeah.
like the nails were sticking out.
Yeah.
The drip edge was not even connected.
Yeah.
It was a lot of mistakes. It was just
And that
Yeah.
in that roofing company, to the owner's defense, he was going to make it right, but he was, you know, his crew dropped the ball big
Yeah.
time on
We,
that.
we
one.
try and stay away from winter installment just because
Yeah.
we like to.
Well, we learned that lesson
the,
too.
the degrees to really, you
Yeah.
know, take down
Yep.
the asphalt shingle
Yeah.
with like the nicer temperature.
You got to get those torches.
Yep.
Yeah, for winter, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a
Like-
liability for us too. You know,
Yeah.
we don't want nothing. Safety's first for us in
Yeah.
the company. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Mhm.
got guys upstairs slipping. That's not good either.
yeah, oh, yeah,
Absolutely.
That's why I don't roof anymore.
yeah.
My when I was I told you guys I just did the slate roofs, and there was a giant house like I think it's for sale right now. It's like $2.8 million, and we were putting the slate down, but it started raining, and my
That's
foreman
dangerous.
wanted me to stay on the roof, and I was like, I'm not staying up
No.
here. And he's like, you need to stay up here, and I slipped on the roof, and I started
Mhm.
sliding down, and I grabbed my hammer and clawed into the
Like a
into the
movie.
roof. I had to put a hole in the roof,
Yeah.
and because I mean I was sliding for a while, and I'm just like
Mhm.
trying to grab everything, and instinctively I grabbed this, and I was maybe like 15 feet from the corner of the roof, but below that was a concrete patio,
Yeah.
and I was up 2
man.
stories. I was done.
Yeah,
know,
you were
or
done
really-
after that day, right?
Oh yeah, I'm done.
Literally
He goes,
hang it up.
no, seriously, I quit that
Yeah.
day. He goes, you can't quit. I'm like, oh, the hell I can.
Watch me walk out.
I'm like, see
That's
ya.
it.
I'm outta
And
here.
so my foreman's boss called me, and he tried everything to keep me.
Huh.
He was so apologetic. He was a
Yeah.
good guy, but my foreman was funny too. He'd always be like, we worked like 75 hours a week. And by like Friday, I'm like, I'm good at noon. Like it's hot.
I'm
good.
good. It must be really hot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good. And we had like Copper Valleys and other stuff. I mean, we were working that high end stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember one time he's like, well, don't you want a new rifle? I was like,
What?
I got a, how many rifles do I need? He's
pay you out.
he's trying to keep me up there so I could buy a new rifle at $13 an hour. I was
Come
like,
on.
nah, man.
No,
No.
pass.
So-
Yeah, carrying shingles is no joke.
Well,
yeah.
Those clay tiles were crazy.
Yeah, they're
And the
heavy.
slate was the coolest. That was the coolest roof I ever did, though, was slate.
Yeah, those are nice.
And we map it out on the ground,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
all the rows.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then we would make sure they all mixed and matched, and they're all different shapes and sizes and all that stuff. It was cool. But we had
Yeah.
to pound every single one in, too.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
By
Like
hammer, because they were just the 2 drill holes.
Yeah.
Took a long time, but that roof was $250,000.
Jeez.
Wow. Yeah.
It was wild. So
Yeah, luckily today is more easier. Like obviously we have the air guns now.
Yeah.
And
I'm not that old, man. We had air guns then too. It's just
Do
you're
you
not going to
remember
use
we have
that.
air guns now. It's like,
air
geez.
guns now.
Before we be bringing up with just ropes and everything.
Now you got drones flying them over
exactly.
there, just
Right.
dropping them off.
Probably, right?
Well,
Well, there's
prime drop
cranes.
off,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
well, now there's the robot that installs shingles. So
Yeah.
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 You get them
Come
to
a long
deliver
way
for
for
sure.
20 years or 25 years since I did a roof,
Yeah.
but well, at least that kind of roof.
Oh,
So-
speaking about that, if somebody's looking for a roof, where are we finding you? How would we get a hold of you? What's up with your referral program? How do we get all the details from you guys?
You can search us up at Prime Roofing WI, which means
Mhm.
Wisconsin.com.
Mm-hmm.
And then right there you can find all the information about roofing and gutters.
Cool.
Mhm.
Cool.
That or just Facebook. Go on Facebook, search Prime Roofing,
Mm-hmm.
and then you'll be able to contact us for sure.
Yeah, and these guys are super responsive. They do a great job getting back.
Mhm.
They're quick on estimates.
Mhm.
All the things, as Rob would
Yeah.
say. All the things.
Names again, just so everybody knows.
Oscar?
Raul.
Awesome,
Cool.
guys. Is there anything you want to say about the business, about the local area, about the show before you get going out today?
Yeah, so I'm just grateful to be here, really, and I'm really just happy to just give back to the community.
Yeah.
That's really one of my main goals, giving back. For May, we're gonna try and do a brain tumor awareness donations
Mhm.
back. So it's
Yeah.
just really, I'm trying to really impact the community like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, it's just kind of what we got here going
Yeah,
on.
and then thank you for having us.
Yeah, man.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
appreciate
Thanks
you
for
guys.
coming.
Appreciate
Thanks
you
for being
guys' time.
awesome partners.
Thank you for partnering
Appreciate
with
you
us.
guys being, one of our moving truck sponsors and
Mhm.
obviously one of our guys for the guys,
Yeah, thank
for
you.
sure, man.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate
behind the
man.
roofs. So Prime Roofing guys, awesome stuff, guys. Raul, Oscar, thanks for coming in. And who do we got next?
Oh, man, we
Own the
got
Night?
so many great interviews. Own the Night's coming up with Kevin Barry. We'll be
Yep.
on site later this week.
Party buses.
Party buses. Let's go.
That'll be fun.
Well, maybe you guys can come with one of these times,
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
Awesome, guys.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.